Alright, so now that we have everything set up, let's go ahead and test the waters and see if we can at least write something to our Cloud Firestore. So first of all, we need to go back to our console, right? So you should probably be somewhere here. And what I need to do is to the left. Let's go and find the Firestore database. This is what we need, and we need to enable it in order to get started. So I'm going to say create database, and in this case, just let's start with in the start in test mode, because that's what we're doing. I'm going to say next, and then here I'm going to just keep as it is right here. I'm in the US, so if you are somewhere else in the world, just find the one that is closer to you, right? Toggle one of these, okay? If you are in Europe, you got a few. So I'm going to just use my US Central as such and say enable. So what this will do is going to provision Cloud Firestore, so we're able then to call it and add and delete and get information from our database. So it may take a few seconds. Once you do that, you can see now we have the Cloud Firestore data. This is where our database will be. Let's go ahead and see if we can actually add some data to our database. So create a little database and add some information. So here I'm going to say val db, right? I invoke the Firebase. This is good. That means things are working perfectly. We've added all the dependencies because we're able to see these classes there. So Firebase Firestore, I'm going to say get instance, like that. And then once I have that instance here, I'm going to, let's start by creating a user. So I'm going to say val user. I'm going to use a mutable map as such, and it's going to be a string as the key and any for the value, and I'm going to equal hash map as such. And then we're going to add some data into our mutable map. So I'm going to say user. For the key, I'm going to have, let's say, first name as such, and the value, you can say Joe. Another here, let's say last name James, like that. Okay, we can add more of key value pairs into our user mutable map there. Remember, mutable map, or in hash map in this case, is what it's needed. That's the type that is required to pass data onto our Firestore database. All right, so once we have that, then we can use our DB reference and say dot. We need to create a collection. So a collection would be something like a table, and we don't have any collection. We're going to create that collection by passing a path here, say users, right? And then I'm going to attach the add, right? And you can see this add allows us to pass data, could be any type, but usually you want to pass a mutable map or hash map, and we're going to pass our user, okay? And then I'm going to attach the add on success listener. So if something happens, so in this case here, I'm just going to say log D, and let's just say this is going to be FB for the tag, and I'm just going to pass the IT because we have this IT as our document reference, which should have information about the document that we've just added. Okay, and I'm going to get the ID like that. On failure, say add on failure listener. I'm going to do the same thing, except now we have the IT just like that. Okay, let's move all of these inside right there, and let's go ahead and run. So if all goes well, we should be able to see, first of all, everything ran. Let's go ahead and log cat, and you can see, there we go, we have added one user. Go back here, let's go ahead and refresh, and voila, you can see there is first name Gio, should be Joe, but it's okay. Last name James. So things are working. We're able to create a collection and then add a document, in this case key value pair, first name and last name, and so forth. Obviously we could have added more key value pairs here, but this is fine. So all is good, all is working.